Good, man. Studying, lecturing, and doing my thing.
Looking very spiritual right
And
now. I see the crown. Man.
a lot of people don't know I make jewelry, so I make a couple things, you know.
Dope.
You gotta stay in tune with nature.
And then the sunlight. You're around sunlight now, so you're beaming right now. brother.
Absolutely, brother. In tune, in tune.
So what do you think about the Black family, brother?
Well, what I think about the Black family, one of the number one things that plagues Black people in general is hyper-individualism. Hyper-individualism means basically we're for ourselves. You may be in a family, but most people are for themselves. For example, when you have a mother and a father and a child, right, and they break up, you have this idea of being a single mother. There's no such thing as being a single mother or a single father, because single means one. So you actually have a child with you. So that brings a dual situation. So you're not by yourself. You're not single. You know what I'm saying? So people have to get the idea of themselves out of the picture. We're here together. So if you look at like everything, look at Black people. We don't really care about each other. You know, we don't have that love. We don't have that oneness that we used to have. At a point in time, Black people used to have a oneness that kept us together. We didn't move as one. We moved as a tribe. They say it takes a tribe to raise a child. You understand what I'm saying? So hyper-individualism, where you have kids, but you'll spend your whole life worried about your career, and your child will be raised by the media, television, social media nowadays, and the public school system. And brother, me and you, Kwame, we know how toxic the public school system is.
Trust me, bro. I was in it.
So now if you look at children are not raised by their parents. I don't care. Don't talk to me about that. Children are not raised by their parents. Children are raised by this sick, diluted, mental, destructive society that we live in. Most of the kids, they learn everything about a relationship or a family from television.
Correct.
They grew up watching stuff like Full House. Still seriously. All these different shows who don't really reflect our issues.
Correct.
Even stuff like That's So Raven. It don't affect our issues.
Correct.
So we need to be brought to the world of reality.
Correct.
Just when it comes to society, I feel there should be a focus on the children because, according to that title, hyper-individualism, which a lot of us are affected by, we really think about self. The male and the female, we really think about self. We really think about our careers, trying to survive, trying to enjoy ourselves.
Yeah.
We're not really looking at our children.
Correct.
I think the children should be taken care of by a commune. I really think we should get the children away from the sickness of their parents. And this is why I say that. If I'm a Christian, right? Me and you both know how toxic Christianity is for children.
Exactly.
For people, for anybody, for Black people, I would say. So me and my wife being Christian, right? We have a child. We're going to indoctrinate them with Christianity and tell them this is the absolute way. Children should be able to grow up with a critical mindset, with critical thinking.
Right thinking.
They should be able to look at what their parents are studying, look at this, and decide for themselves what makes more sense. It should be our job to give them the facts, and they choose from the facts and from this if they want to bring it together, because children are so smart. We can learn so much from our children, but people don't give their child the freedom and creativity to explore. If you look at a baby, a child's exploring everything. If you leave a child in a room by itself, they will take apart everything because they have a scientific mind. But what we do, we lock our children in a box mentally before they have the chance to grow with let their imagination grow, or explore the world, or explore ideas. We lock them down. We tell them, Christ is your Lord and Savior. Christ is your freedom. Christ is coming back to save you. We give them all these ideologies. The same with Islam. The same with Buddhism. The same with all these religions that we are constructed with, right? Which are mental programs. We give our children those same mental programs. I think the family is the most toxic place for a child right now to this day.
Got time for that, brother.
If you talk about mental illness, my brother, I think the family is a source of mental illness outside of the society that's constructed to affect that family. So you have a child growing up in a family is already doomed for mental destruction or mental illness. Because you may grow up in a family where a father is beating a mother, right? A single mother is releasing all these emotions around her sons with no father in the picture, so they're gonna grow up being over emotional.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And they might wind up beating their wife, or they might wind up walking out on their wife. They might wind up not wanting to go through seeing their mother so emotional, so they don't want to see another woman being so emotional, so they take themselves out of that picture and they keep on moving from woman to woman to woman to woman.
Wow.
So when we talk about mental illnesses, it starts with this destructional individuality, the hyper-individualism system that we're in, and it starts with the family, because everyone is for themselves. Friends, we all have friends issues. Everyone's for themselves. Right now, I was talking to my friend Kwame. It's almost hard to find authentic men nowadays,
Nice.
because you had men who had a G code, you know, who was like, yo, family over everything, my people, my brother over everything, my clique over everything. Now you have everyone's wishy-washy, everyone's for themselves, everyone's trying to get the dollar, you know, there's no morals. So I think for the black family, you ask me, the children should be raised in a community that takes care of the children, you know. I really do, until we're able to fix the mental illness that we have. I think it's better mentally for them. Of course, we have things like molestation, and this is something that happens in the family. Yo, so many people got molested, you know, so many people, so many children. It amazed me how much of an epidemic this is. Molestation in the black family, it's crazy. That's why I just have to keep an eye on my daughter. Like, we just have to really watch our children and make sure a cousin can molest
Facts.
their cousin.
Facts.
You know,
Facts.
an older sister that may not have the same mother or may not have the same father may molest the little sister, or somebody a brother can molest a sister, or a sister can molest a brother, because the parents not in the household.
Facts.
They're being raised by television. Children are being raised by the media. And in the social school system, the public school system. You know how sick that is?
Yeah.
When you have something like the school to prison pipeline. The school to prison pipeline is set up to drive or engineer black males in the prison system.
Yeah.
And this is the system we have raising our children. So now we come to a point where we cannot trust the parent with the child. We cannot trust the school system with the child.
So what can we do?
We damn sure can't. We can't
Trust
trust the media or the pastor. Are you serious? Yo, the child is the most attacked individual in society. The child is the most uncared for individual in society. And white people don't take care of their kids either. Because you can walk through Central Park, Prospect Park, and you'll see a black woman taking care of their child.
Facts. Facts.
You know what's crazy? Racism is so crazy because they're so racist against black people, but at the same time, when you get old, you have a black woman taking care of you.
Facts.
And when you're a child, to this day, you have a black person taking care of you, a black woman taking care of you. Come on now. So even in the Caucasian community, they're mentally fucked up because you have a black woman taking care of you. And now you're gonna grow up and be racist against the woman who raised you. And then when you're about to die, you 80, 75 years old, your children don't want to take care of you, so they give you to a black person. Pay the black person money. Home health aides. They pay the black person money to take care of your white ass. Do you see the mental sickness? So not only are black people mentally ill, Caucasian people are too, because they have an idea of white superiority. And it does not exist. Get that out of your mind. White superiority do not exist. White superiority do not exist because you're not superior. We take care of you as a child. We take care of you when you get old. It's over. Stop that. Now back to the black family. Do you know what type of mental illnesses we're going through in the world? So now when we look at the black family again, as I said, the child is the most destroyed or attacked individual in society. You know, we're affected by hyper-individualism. And money this society gives us that notion that we could become better than somebody else, and that'll give us a better place in society. If I make more money than everybody else, I'll be good.
Yeah.
If I make more money than everybody else that I'm in a social environment with, I'll be good.
What's the song they said? More money, more problems?
More money, more problem, right? So you're going to get more money, but you see your child twice a day. You wake them up for school, you take them to school.
Yeah.
They spend 7 hours at school, come back home. You're still at work. You get back home, let's say 6 o'clock, 6 or 7 o'clock. You have 1 hour to spend with your family before they go to bed and start it all over again. Children are not being raised by their family. That is sick, because children are our carbon copies. Take the children away from the homes. I do not care. We have to figure it out. Take the children away from the homes. It's the most sickest place they could be right now. We need to have a commune that raises the children, right, with the proper, education, the proper sciences, mathematics, history. We need to know our history. Public school's not teaching us that, and obviously the parents is not teaching us that either. We need a commune that's trusted.
So,
you know.
So is this why it's important for you to build a community with other people, conscious people?
Absolutely.
That's
I think it's important for us to build communities again. I think it's good for black people to start
coming together collectively.
monetizing, capitalizing off of our ownership, our development. You know what I'm saying? We need to produce for ourselves, because we're put in a system where we're being attacked. So when you talk about mental illness, we know the black family is destroyed. Now we want to talk about fluoride being pumped into predominant black neighborhoods. We're getting attacked on a chemical level. We want to talk about things like mood stabilizers being pumped in our water. We want to talk about things like fluoride. We want to talk about things like food, where they're hitting us with stuff like soy and a lot of our products. Things to produce estrogen in males. So a lot of males are becoming more feminine. So this is the family is probably the most destructive thing right now for anybody, because you get molested in your own home. You can feel lonely in your own home. You could go to school and get bullied, and they'll come home and tell your parents they have no idea what you're going through. So much pressure for this child, because the parents are not telling them about sex. The parents are not telling them like, yo, if anybody molests you, come tell me, talk to me, it's okay. These conversations are not happening in the household because the parents are not built with the proper mental mechanics to teach their children.
I've even heard instances where women will tell their mother that their uncle molested them,
and they won't believe them. You have situations where girls will tell their mother their father molested them, and they won't believe them. A stepfather, remember, 75%, 80% single black mothers. What does that mean? You have men that are not the biological father of these children coming in a household. They have no entitlement to that child. Some people, because we have some good men and good women, they will molest your daughter or your son, and that screws them up. If a little boy is molested by another male, he could be a homosexual for the rest of his life, especially if that's his first sexual encounter. So, hyper-individualism. Everyone's out for themselves. Everyone's out to make money. The power of the dollar enslaves us all. We need to focus on the children. We need to love our family again. Because money, this society takes away the love that the family has. I trust the family no more. It's pure destruction. Take the children away from the family and give them to the community. And we can build a system where the community take care of the children properly. Even if we have to, put cameras everywhere.
Because a lot of people, we still sick, bro.
Cameras everywhere, because we still dealing with sick people, but we can create a system where that child is able to use its imagination again. That child is able to explore again. He can take Muhammad, he can take Jesus, he can take African spirituality and put them all in one box and study all of these things and come up with his own conclusion. because we're built mentally with the proper morality. It has to be nourished properly. We should just nourish that child and let the mind explore for itself. We can no longer trust the family. We can no longer trust the media. We can no longer trust society. We have to produce for ourselves. We have to govern ourselves. And that's all, family.